This book, Normal and Abnormal Function of the Foot, authored by Root, Weed, and Orion, and published in 1978, has been cited more in the medical literature than any other podiatric work. Google Scholar shows that this book has been cited over 1,000 times in other scientific articles, mainly outside of the podiatric literature and in the physical therapy and surgical literature. Prior to that publication, this book was published about 5 years earlier on the examination of the foot and ankle. And finally, the neutral suspension cast technique, which ultimately produced the Root functional foot orthosis, was the predecessor to those three seminal works, which today are really the foundation of what we still do and still works in our hands. This lecture is focusing on a topic and a trend that is rapidly engulfing podiatric surgical symposia around the country. And I want to step back and show just what Hal said about the importance of biomechanics and understanding the true nature of why we do surgical procedures and whether it's really biomechanically sound. That's a picture of Merton Root, and this is the article of a paper that I was part of a group of researchers my senior year at CCPM, and it was the last paper that Root ever published, and it was really an honor and a thrill to be part of this team, which also did include Bill Orion, and I was just reflecting also on Howard Marshall, who ran the campus at the Southern School of Podiatric Medicine, and his son, Scott Marshall, is here today, which is kind of fitting. This is what it's all about. This is the axis of the first ray, originally described by Hicks. It is not a pronatory supinatory axis. It's a unique axis that allows dorsiflexion with inversion, plantar flexion with eversion, contrary to the pronatory supinatory motions we see elsewhere in the foot. But it's that unique axis that allows the progression of Hallux abductovalgus, because as the first ray dorsiflexes, it inverts and it adducts away from the rest of the foot about that axis. It has been shown that patients with Hallux abductovalgus have hypermobility of the first ray. But what's interesting is we've now learned that it's the hypermobility that doesn't precede Hallux abductovalgus, it's the result of Hallux abductovalgus. That as those sesamoids deviate laterally, but really the first ray deviates medially off the sesamoids, it becomes destabilized. The first ray becomes hypermobile.